younger Christians, where they used to want to grow up to be actors or comedians or athletes, now see the fame of pastors and they want to grow up to be a pastor. But it's not because they want to be a pastor, it's because they think that it's a glorified path to their own fame.
Yep.
So has leader become almost synonymous with celebrity in this culture, and how do we fight against that?
Well, you're talking about, I think, once again, humility. We do live in a celebrity culture where there's well-known leaders around the country. We buy their books, we go to their conferences, their seminars, we adore them, we worship them, we emulate them, so forth and so on. So, yeah, there's a great spot. When I was in another city a few weeks ago, I had about 6 or 8 pastors of the churches that had participated in the seminar came to the host pastor's home on Saturday night. And we got into a great discussion about kingdom building and glory, and whose kingdom are we talking about and whose glory are we talking about, and what motivates and drives, where Paul says, for the love of Christ constrains me, compels me, motivates me. So it's love for Jesus and the love of Jesus Christ that should motivate. But it can easily go sideways where, because we do live in a celebrity culture, we watch these people on television, their names are household words, that we want to become like one of them, follow them, or we want to build our own kingdom. So it's all about the size of things, and we measure, we compete with one another, the numbers games and so forth. People say, well, we're going to count the numbers. It's not wrong to count. After all, they counted in the book of Acts, and there's a book named Numbers. But you can count, I think you can count the wrong things for the wrong reasons. And it's a hard issue. It's motivation, Tyler. It's what motivates me to want to measure success and how I'm doing. And it's easy to measure success by how many members do we have, how many people attend the church, how many people do we have in community groups, so forth. You can measure it another way, and that is, let's talk about community impact. How do we measure that our disciples are growing and maturing in Christ? What does that look like for us as a church? What does it look like to measure the community impact by God's grace that He's given us, rather than just counting heads? I have a friend I've had for years in Texas. He used to refer to it as counting nickels and noses. That's what most churches are interested in, nickels and noses.
Right.
But what about community impact? I don't hear a lot of discussion about that. Let's measure how we're doing and impacting the community with the gospel. Are our attenders and members out in the community loving people, serving people, doing things to advance the gospel, sharing with their neighbors, loving on their neighbors? So, yeah, we do. There's no question that we live in a celebrity culture, and it can go easily sideways.